Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we got Transformers Seige Jetfire. Taking a look at this thing just right now. This armor is absolutely amazing. You have great detail on the armor, this giant gun, and one of the best parts of a great figure, makes a great figure, blast effects. Great. Now let's get into the actual figure without the armor. Hey guys, so we've got Jetfire without armor. Still looks fantastic. Before we get into articulation, I just want to show this amazing detail. So you have Jetfire, and a lot of you might notice that if you know in the original, Jetfire actually was a Decepticon, which he turned to Autobot. So if you want, a Decepticon Autobot to go with all your Decepticons, boom, symbol can flip. You press the tab in and it flip. You gotta work it a little bit, but now you have them as a Decepticon. Change it back, go the other way, just like the cartoon flips to the symbol. When you do the Transformers show, cartoon, 80s one, don't judge me. And as you can see here, we got this is what the armor comes into. Gun, shoulder gun, two things, I don't know what they're called, I'll have to research that, and chest plate, that will go there. Now you can put it on the back, but I wouldn't advise that because you would have to lean it up some for displaying, and this is a little loose on the sides, but it's still a great piece. Still really cool how they packed it all in there. Another thing before get into articulation, I want to point out is I want to show you the size. It looks like a big figure. But, how big he is, this is a Studio Series, Coronation Starscream, Studio Series 86 Coronation Starscream, which is pretty big. It's pretty tall for a regular figure. And he doesn't even get to the waist of Jetfire. So I just wanted to point that out. He's a good figure. Articulation is great. Ratchet joints. Ratchet joints everywhere. Now when you bend this arm, this will come off a little bit. It's not gonna break unless you rip it off, but it is still a little you gotta hold this down. Right here, you got some good articulation. Do that on both sides. Head up about there, side down. Come forward, come back. Like that, right? Otherwise, it's pretty decent. Ratchet joint, nice. And now let us do the transformation. Let's get it transformed. So we got him transformed. It was a pretty simple process. There's a little tiny things, tiny details right here on the flaps, back of the wings. And one thing I'd like to point out, under some light, you can see a bit of separate color, but that's not a bad thing. If you don't mind that, then it's who cares? But if you do, there's just slight here. You'll notice it if you see it. It's not horrible, though. Right here, you can see Autobot Decepticon symbol. See? And it will show on the top of the jet. And it's a really cool build. It's cool, feels nice. It's a little light, and that's good though. Feels like it won't fall apart after you transformed it. Now this little backpack I showed you earlier goes on the back of Jetfire. It's more useful on the top of his jet mode. Kind of looks a little too high and bulky in my personal opinion, but it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. I personally think it's a pretty good look. If you don't want it, just take it off. You can put it somewhere else. It's tiny, and you just take these sides off if it's too big, too wide. He'll be okay. Another thing I want to point out, I want to do another size comparison. This is again the same Starscream, and this is a Studio Series 86 figure, which they are pretty good in size. And I want to point out the difference side by side, long horizontally. kind of what you're gonna look at, size difference. And then another thing, really cool detail. If you pull this down right here underneath the, I don't know the specific jet terminology, but right under here, it's a little tough to get out. These ones are pretty simple, but this one has a little tab right there. I'm gonna use my teeth. I don't want to hear any judgment. Alright, teeth aren't working, so we're just gonna have to go back to nails. It's like every time you get close, it just decides that it doesn't want to work. That's one. Finally. Alright, the under part looks a little weird, but you're not really gonna be seeing that much unless you just want to display it upside down. You do you. And you have these nice wheels that can spin, so successful landings. Happy flying.